Former Clinton campaign advisor Zerlina Maxwell was on MSNBC and once again lied about Bernie Sanders. Zerlina Maxwell is known for doing this. So I have a previous video covering a bit of that, so I'll link to that above this video. But this lie here, maybe the most blatant. I mean, this is such an obvious lie that I almost didn't do a video on this because I assume most people know this isn't true. But I'm going to play this anyways just to show you how far Zerlina Maxwell will go.
So this is how I would compare. Bernie Sanders is excellent at explaining what the problem is. He's excellent at laying out all of the different things that are wrong structurally in this country. And then he stops talking. And I'm always listening for solutions and specifics. Elizabeth Warren does not stop talking. She says, and here is how I'm going to fix it. And here's my plan to fix it. Kamala Harris also has a verbal tick where she says, I don't want to hear you talking about what all the problems are. Tell me what you're going to do about it. And I think that that's the difference in this campaign.
Okay. So apparently, Bernie Sanders only talks about the problems in the country. He doesn't talk about the solutions. And you're trying to tell me there's no media bias against Bernie Sanders? Come on. This is the most blatant lie I've seen about Bernie on television. I mean, all you have to do is go to berniesanders.com. There's 25 different pages with plans completely laid out. Here are just a few of the examples. 100 pages on Medicare for all. 69 pages on prescription drug bills, 50 pages on college for all, 44 pages on Social Security expansion, 25-page estate tax, 18-page clean water for all, 18-page Wall Street speculation tax, 12-page $15 minimum wage, 4-page loan shark prevention. I mean, this lie is so blatant. And I'm somebody, I support Bernie Sanders, but I would never lie and say, oh, Warren has no plans. Or I wouldn't even lie about Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. They have plans too. I think they're horrible, but they have plans. So the idea that Bernie Sanders only talks about the issues and has no plans, this is just this is another world they're living in. The fact that she can say this on television and not be challenged by anybody else on the panel, I mean, it shows you there is an obvious media bias against Bernie Sanders. Now ask yourself, why are party insiders like Zerlina Maxwell, why are they comfortable with Elizabeth Warren while lying about Bernie Sanders? This story from the New York Times may give you an indication. What Elizabeth Warren is quietly telling Democratic insiders. With phone calls, texts, and handwritten notes, the Massachusetts senator is continuing an unusually determined outreach effort to show party officials she is aligned with them. So there is a larger breakdown on that story that I'm working on that I may do a video on. But basically here, Elizabeth Warren is courting party insiders just like the other candidates are, except obviously for Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is dedicated to the people. He is building a true grassroots movement, which is why he has the most individual donors by far, almost doubling Elizabeth Warren's individual numbers and individual donor numbers, and she's in second place. And they're also getting scared, these party insiders, because Bernie is continuing to gain in the polls. So this very recent Emerson poll just went out and shows Bernie up 4%, now clearly in second place at 24%. Biden dropped 2%, and Warren only went up by 1%. And then, of course, you have this other poll that I discussed yesterday in a video, where Bernie is now tied for first, jumping 6 points, and Biden dropped 13 points since June. So you put the data together. Bernie has by far the most individual donors, has by far the most volunteers, the most grassroots support. He's rising in the polls. He's becoming more and more popular as Biden begins to fall. A lot of Biden's support is going to Bernie Sanders, as I predicted. And to be fair, a lot of people predicted early on in this primary. Because a lot of people, I mean, I don't want to get too into it, but people saw Biden as, oh, Obama's VP. So they felt comfortable with him. But then once Biden began to be on the campaign trail and had all his gaffes, and they actually maybe see some of his plans or lack thereof, they understand, yeah, Biden is actually not on the working side or not on the side of working people. Look in Biden's history. He has the opposite votes of Bernie Sanders. Bernie has been on the correct side of history for the past 40 years. Biden on the wrong side of history. So people are beginning to finally retain this information and deciding that, well, maybe you thought Biden was on the side of working people, but now realizing that actually Sanders is. So you put all this together, and you realize, yeah, they're scared. So you have people like Zerlina Maxwell on TV just straight out lying about Bernie Sanders not having any plans and expecting to get away with it.